Okay.
Right. So you know what I mean. But first we gotta define it. You know what I mean.
All right.
So we talk about destiny. It's like the events that will happen to a particular person or thing in the future. That's what it is. Destiny. Right?
All right.
So it's like in some situations like something so negative, right? But then the sentence like, is that meant to happen in order for them to do something great?
Oh, bro, I had a beef with my family with
You do what I'm saying?
couple of days
So it's
ago on this.
like
Remember that dad hit you up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so it's like in this situation, like, you know, growing up without a father, in some situations like that, like also that's negative.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then it's like,
Did that
what
have the,
if that's actually meant to happen to some people
So that
you know,
they
so that they can be great? So LeBron James, for example, I think he grew up without a father, but then
you better be right on that.
otherwise he's just being racist.
Otherwise, you're just pushing the narrative, bro.
hold on, let me, hey, give me 2 seconds in there. Hey,
break.
Quick break.
While he's
While he's
looking
doing
up
his Googles.
that nonsense. I think God will use anything, like all things will work together for those that love
you took
the
that
Lord,
point.
right?
Yeah.
But it's like that doesn't mean that's God's intention.
Yeah.
Like God
yeah.
didn't want you to like God's not gonna give you cancer, right? But God will give you a testimony. Can I have my?
Oh, yeah. We doubling up. My bad.
Oh, okay.
I had
Perfect.
this is the argument I had with my parents. Oh, not even my parents, like it was my sister and my dad versus me and my mum, bro. And it went on for like an hour. It was, you know what's messed up? We started off with just a nice simple, like it was
Family dinner?
we're not on holiday. This isn't the holiday, just last week. Bro, yes, you know, I mean shout out to the bro. It was on the trip, yeah. And like
The trip Marwa wasn't on, yeah?
yeah, bro, that's her fault.
Sadly. Okay.
That's her fault. She wasn't there. She knows it's her fault.
Alright.
Anyways,
After you get
so like, yeah. This all still goes back to what you're saying. So just saying that, but don't worry. But like,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, we're chilling, and it was like time for family devotion in the morning prayer and all that, right? And like, oh, you know, you take control this time, shit, because I just read a passage in that myself, and it was like bars. I think I sent a snap that morning. Y'all would have seen it, bro.
Possible.
John.
Oh yeah. John 6, yeah?
Yeah, I can't remember. John 9, I think.
Oh yeah. I remember. You sent us a message.
Yeah. And so I was sharing it in that, and like it came down to the thing of like, you know, it's almost the concept of like, if God is so good, why do bad things happen? Blah 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 blah. And like what I came to the realization of, like kind of what you just said now, is that like bad things do happen, right? Like life literally happens. God is still in control, yeah. But it's like I feel like our ability to subject all of that to his hands, to be like, this is crazy, this is wild,
I need you.
It's like that's the lens switch that we require. That's the lens switch that allows us to see the all things work together side of this thing, right?
Yeah.
The light at the end of the tunnel side of this thing. It's like sometimes that all things work together. It says for the good of those, for
That
our
love the
good,
Lord.
but also for his glory as
Yeah.
well in that same passage, right? So it's like those two conditions are met when we actually subject, like, you know, the negativity that we're facing to like, you know, the hands of God to take control in this point of view, right? In this situation. So it's like, yes, bad things do happen. God, I don't believe God ever sends that, but it's like our willingness to give that to him, we're able to see how that can be for our good at the end of the day, right? So like when it comes to like fate and destiny and all that, right? It wasn't meant to happen. Bad things aren't meant to happen to us. That was not the initial intention, right? But it's the fact is that bad things do happen.
Yep.
If you feel me. It's
Yep,
like the original plan is not for bad things to happen, right? But it's the fact that as we're in this mortal body, it's like bad things will happen, right? So like bad things do happen on earth.
Yep.
Just period.
Agreed.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like when they do happen, it's like, are we now able to see how this can, because the same person in that situation of a non-father, you know, of a fatherless home, it's like the same person could also not use that as motivation to take that. They could use that as the complete opposite, to be so down and maybe I don't deserve anything ever good. Nothing good has ever happened to me. My dad was never there. I wasn't even good enough for my dad to love me. He left me, blah, blah, blah. It's like they will never, you know, that can be the same person that is a demotivating factor, where someone else sees it through a different lens. Or it's like, that's what I feel in terms of fate and destiny. It's like, I don't believe in
using that situation.
I don't believe any of these bad things were ever meant to happen, but it's like when they do happen, it's like, what lens do you now see this in? And it's like, according to God's perfect plan, like how how am I able to now see how this can work together? But yeah, I don't want to talk too much.
Yeah. All right.
We'll,
So
we'll get that.
so what's up with LeBron's dad?
So I was right.
Okay, you're lucky.
So yeah,
but
so
still
LeBron
bad.
basically grew up without a father.
All right.
You know, I don't know if his father walked out on him or whatever. But yeah, but obviously, see that little thing. Him growing up without a father allowed him to be a better father.
Yeah,
but that's
yeah,
what
yeah.
he said himself. So you do know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And I think that's also what's important, right? It's like when you're growing up in the absence of something and you know the effect it has on you,
Yeah.
you know you're gonna make sure that you do it.
Yeah.
You do what I'm saying? So now it's like if you grow up in the absence of this or that, you do what I mean? It's like, okay, I don't have mom, I don't have father, I don't have this, or just things in general. Even like sometimes not having a meal every day. It's like, okay, when I have kids, I'm gonna make sure that they have this, they have this, they have that. I'm never gonna walk out on them because I know how much that impacted me. I'm gonna make sure that they're gonna eat every day because I know how much that affected me as well.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So I think having the absence of something allows you to become greater. It depends how you look at it as well. You dig what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, so you guys believe in destiny and fate and that where things are meant to happen.
I don't believe in fate in terms of like I don't believe in the concept or notion of pre-planned,
Pre-planned,
not
predetermined.
pre-planned, but predetermined. I don't believe in
Predetermined,
predetermined, but I believe in destiny in terms of ultimate calling. So the fact is, do I achieve this? Do I not? Every decision I make is either bringing me closer or bringing me further away from what I ultimately like. Okay, so this is, I think we're in line really with what I want to talk about in terms of like our ultimate self, right? Like if everything worked in our favor, because everyone has the capability. Everyone has. I feel like every single individual has that ultimate self that they can be, right?
Yeah.
If everything was perfectly working in their favor, and if we made the right decision in every single moment, right decision doesn't necessarily mean the right thing, but it also could be the wrong decision, but it's the right decision in the long run for that person. If you guys get what I'm trying to say right now, right?
Yeah.
If like following the perfect script for being our ultimate self. I think I've lost track of what we're trying to talk about right now. In terms of destiny, I feel like each person can achieve that. But like I'm saying, are we getting closer to that or further for that? But I don't think that there's predetermined fates, if you feel me. I feel like everyone has an ultimate. If you do right on this earth, you can get to this ultimate point.
You can get to
but
that.
how you choose to live it here and now determines if you get to that or not.
So
But
what
I
about
don't believe that your fate is this, your fate is that.
What about the statement that your life is already being planned out for you before you're born? What about that?
In terms of like when you're talking about like social constructs and things like that, like racism, etc.
No, not racism. I'm just talking about like
literally
higher
the
power.
course of your life.
Your
is planned
life,
out.
like who you're gonna be, what you're gonna do. That was already kind of stated before you were born.
No, I don't believe in that.
I think that's like almost a cop out because it's like, if I do nothing with my life, I guess this is what was written for me,
Oh yeah.
right? Like
But then
Iraqis do this all the time, right? Like with
how you gonna invest your people?
but like they do it with like people that never get married, where it's like they go, well, I guess that's just God's portion for them. And like half the time, the people in our communities that don't end up getting married, it's because they're weirdos, man.
bro.
Like it's not because God
Yeah.
didn't want you to get married. It's because you're socially absent,
Yes.
right? Like you don't know how to talk around
Yeah,
women.
yeah, yeah.
You don't know how to talk
That's-
around
that's
men.
what you're saying
you don't
about
know
a
how to
cop-out.
hold down a job. You don't know how to, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
yeah.
And you're lazy. All this. So it's like, I don't think God didn't want you to
Yeah,
get
just
a partner,
excuses.
buddy. I think,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Buddy.
They're like, that.
Like I said, buddy.
But it's like, I think on that kind of sense, it can be kind of a cop out where it's like, well, I guess that's just my life. It's like, so what? You're giving up at 24?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Because let's
life's
say you
bad?
now make the decision for it not to be your life. Like,
'Cause-
how is that a? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
how is it all of a sudden now
All right,
not your
back
life?
to the fatherless thing, right? You get pregnant, and the guy's like, I'm not gonna be there for the kid. Now you're like, oh, I guess that's just the life for my kid.
It's just the way it's
You would
meant
never
to be.
do that. You're like, well, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
try to be as present. I'm a single mother. I'm gonna be as present as
Yeah,
possible.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna work so that this kid has stuff. I'm gonna make sure that they're brought up, around the right.
It's like it's
community, around
literally
the
in your
church, around-
hands.
Exactly.
The onus
right?
is on you. Yeah.
So it's
It
like,
is.
how are you gonna, drop that on the kid's head?
Yeah. For real.
I think it makes sense in terms of like, just throwing out an excuse when something happens. It's like, oh yeah, that's where it was meant to be. Like it was meant to happen like that. But you know, you can always take a left, take a right.
But it's the thing, right? We use it like you just use it in that example. But why do we use it when something positive happens to us then?
Why do we or why don't we? Why,
Yeah,
okay, why do we? Yeah.
So
As in,
example, now you grinded the
yeah.
whole time
I
and
was
then
just
you
thinking that.
finally got the award.
Yeah,
It's meant to be.
yeah.
Like do you know what I'm saying?
or
Like,
even the sense of like
It's meant to happen.
even
Or
like even something like
But
Right.
if
I
like
don't
you get
hear
the
it.
like you get the Grammy after you've dropped a fire album that you worked hard on and everything, it's like I think most of the time like it's meant to be. It's like because I deserve this, man.
Yeah, I've put in the hard work to get to where I
Right.
am.
Yeah, yeah.
So why
Damn
wouldn't
right,
you
it's meant
award
to
me
be.
with it?
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
My
yeah.
microphone.
There's also the thing about like, let's say something like you were in a car, right, and you were driving, right, and for some reason you decided to not go a certain route that you always do.
Uh-huh.
Next
I was
thing
thinking
you
of
know,
that, so.
Yeah.
you find out the route you originally usually take, a massive accident happened or something like that.
Yeah. That's what I mean, bro.
Because my dad, this was my dad. Oh, bro, it was
Bro, these
an
stuff.
argument, bro. But it was lit. It was a respectful one. I love having these type of
Yeah.
discussions, bro. He was saying something like it's still tough. I don't know. I agree and I don't. It's like, because he was saying us saying that things happen, but God will work it out for our good is kind of removing the power of like, can God not stop this evil? That evil will not happen or bad things will not happen unless God has permitted it.
Okay.
As in like, so if you look at obviously the story of Job, of like, you know, saying, you look, all these people here deserve to die because they've turned away from you. And God's like, have you looked at my servant Job? He's like, no, you haven't allowed me to go and inflict any evil on him. There's a hedge around him. And then God's like, go do your bidding, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And then you always got to read it, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then
I always forget how long of a book Job is.
it's a long book.
42
It's a long
chapters.
Takes a minute before we
Yeah.
get to the
A long one.
42 chapters. It's like 42 is when it
I
finally.
always thought it was like the length of Jonah. As
Nah,
a
but-
kid, I always thought it was like the length of
Honestly,
Jonah. You know,
because
Jonah,
of how
4 chapters
it's
over
because
2
all the
pages.
adults don't want to read the middle part too. We read the first couple and then we skip to the end, bro. But
Oh my
like,
gosh.
yeah, he was saying like, you know, his evil won't happen unless it's being permitted. So it's like fate when you look at it in terms of God like that. Is it like, was that a predetermined? Like that, if I go back to the example of us avoiding or somehow is missing that car crash that was meant to happen, right? Is it like, because you know, would you say that's the prompting, that's the you know what I mean, God hand moving in your favor to move you out of the way of harm, etc., like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what
I get
do y'all take on that, man?
That's just weird. Like, I think about
Maybe it's a mixture of both, but I will still
Maybe-
heavily lean more
maybe.
towards the side that gives me free will.
But I think this is what it is, Like something happens,
Yeah.
and we just wanna be like, yep. I guess, you know.
I think we want to obviously always rationalize it in our
Yeah.
head, maybe.
So it's an example like, example that example you just used. You didn't go that way. You went a different way.
Yeah.
Or let's just say that you went extra early to work,
Yeah.
and then after that there's a massive accident
Something
happen.
happened,
If you went at the time they usually go, you know, now it becomes like, is that fate? Is that destiny? Or is it just like your free will kind of thing? Like in a way, I think I would go more towards the free will.
As in, it was a coincidence then, basically.
It was a
or-
coincidence more than it was actually like it's tough, bro. Because I thought about it, I was like, because this is what it is, we missed that accident and we said, you
That
know
was
what?
God's hand.
Yeah, we said, oh, it's God's hand. Not about more of it wasn't meant to be.
Yeah. That wasn't. It wasn't my time.
It wasn't my time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
every time something like that, damn.
Nah, I got you. I feel you, bro. Continue. Push through.
Nah. Every time something like that happens, we want to say, nah, this, that. You do what I mean? Like
Yeah,
every time
yeah.
something happens, example, what about, it's like this year. Let's say the guy in your classroom in high school, he had a pink pencil case.
Okay.
And then in your head,
starting off strange.
and then in your head, you're like, this guy's gay because he's got a pink pencil case, right? But let's say in reality,
We were really that childish.
That's how
no,
we
no,
were.
you were childish, yeah.
I'm glad that's over.
But in
man.
reality, he had a pink pencil case because that's the only pencil case he had in his house. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take that.
Yeah.
But then you're like, nah, this guy's gay because he's got that, right?
Yeah.
And then after that, one day he comes out of the closet, he's actually gay.
Yeah.
And you're gonna say, I knew it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Like
saying?
we always try to
Like,
add
we
some
always
kind
try
of
to add,
reasoning
like-
to something.
And that's what I mean. This is actually one of those events where it's like,
Sometimes it is just what it
it-
is.
like, bro, sometimes it is what it is. But see, you want to be like, see, it's meant to be. You like this, so this is why. Like, I expected that. No, you didn't. Like you feel what I'm saying? But I feel like for me, this is more goes towards the free will. But at the same time, it's like
It's an
maybe
element.
God also got a different plan for you too. You know what I mean?
Is that for everyone? Believers,
100%.
non-believers?
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone. So we're
What
saying
is it?
that
What-
I mean, God is not gonna be like, yeah, you,
in terms of
you,
yeah,
not you,
yeah,
not you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Remember how it's the thing about like God doesn't want anyone to perish, but then
Yes.
obviously our, you know what I mean, our decisions and stuff will determine to back to. All right, I'll finish this first.
You know what I'm
Before,
saying? And I think even like when it happens to those people that don't believe
Yeah.
in God, I think that even gives them a reason to believe in God, depending on how they look at the situation.
Or they can see it as that was just
That was just a coincidence.
type of
You,
thing.
you know what I mean? But
Stephen Furtick had a good series on this. He's like often, like a good message around this stuff, and he was saying like one of God's nicknames is coincidence. he's like the world in general.
oh,
tends
he's
to
the
call him
he's the guy.
coincidence.
He's the
Yeah,
guy,
yeah.
Stephen.
Yeah,
Furtick, bro.
I like his
he
stuff.
killed that,
man.
bro.
He's
He
the guy.
killed that.